Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil.
For our black patches, we're going to do a moss stitch. For this one, we do a moss stitch, and I'm now just going to show you how to do it. So this is, by the way, what it's going to look like when it's done. And so we're going to start with a normal knit. So we're going to knit one and then purl one, and then knit one again and purl one. So we're going to just alter knitting and purling all along this row, and we're going to start with obviously knitting, and then we're just going to knit purl all along this one row. So once you've finished this one row, we are just going to take our work, take the work in our left hand as always, and now we're going to start not with a knit, we're going to start with a purl. So we're just going to purl and then knit. So instead of doing knit, purl, we're going to do purl, knit, and that's just how you're going to alter it. So you're just going to, whoops, purl and knit, and purl and knit, and you just keep on doing this until you've reached the end of the row. So, and once we're done with our second row, we're just again going to switch it, and then we're going to do knit, purl again. So we're always going to alter one row starting with knit and the other one starting with purl, then again knit, and then again purl, and then again knit and purl. I think you get the idea. It's really easy to do. It's one of my favorite patterns. It also is a really soft pattern, and for this one I would recommend you to knitting rather tightly again, not too tight, but you can knit rather tight, because otherwise the pattern will not look the exact same. For our orange patch, we do the garter stitch, and therefore we just knit every row. So we just knit all along, and then we turn our work and knit that row. We basically just knit every row until we have reached our desired length. Now I'm going to show you how to make the waistband, and it's gonna look like this. And it basically is a pattern where you always knit 2 and then purl 2. So you chain the amount of stitches you want on your needles. You either can use, as I do, circular knitting needles, then you already have the circle, or you can just knit one large bend, which you're then gonna sew together on one side. Now I'm just gonna show you how to do the bend. So we're gonna take a needle and we're gonna do 2 knits, since there's the knit. So if you just start with your first stitch and knit 2 and purl 2. You will get the hang of it after a while. So if you do it with circular knitting needles, you will just keep on going in this pattern, and then in the end you will see where the knit is and where the purl is. The knit is where it comes outwards. The purl goes inwards, the knit comes outwards. So how you're going to do the knit is you go in, take the yarn over and pull it through. We're just going to do this twice, pull it through, and then we're going to turn. So instead of having the yarn on the back, we're going to put it to the front, and we're going to go with our needle behind, take the yarn, pull through the back and pull it off the other needle, and again another purl. So we're going to just pull it through like so, and we're just going to keep on going in this pattern. So in the knit 2 purl 2 pattern, wait a bit, we're just gonna go in this, and we're gonna keep this pattern up until we have knitted 14 centimeters. So this now I have already made 7 centimeters, so I have to do the exact same length twice, because we need to be able to have a band run through it so we can accentuate it on the waist. And that's how you can do it. So you just keep on knitting until you have your piece, and make sure that you don't knit too tight, because otherwise it will be very tight, and believe me, in the end it will look good. So So here you can once again see where the knit and where the purl is. So right here you can see there is the knit, and on the ones that go behind a little bit, I don't know if you can tell, but like that one goes behind. You can tell from this shot. The one that goes a little inwards is the purl, and the other one that goes a little outwards is the knit. Once you have reached the 10.5 centimeter mark, you want to start making the buttonhole, and I'm just going to show you how you're going to do this. We're just going to make an easy hole like this one. This is the easiest. There are other ways you could do a yarn over hole, but that one would be a little too complicated in a circular knitting needle. So if you decided to do it on normal knitting needles without the circular, you may want to find a video on how to do a yarn over, but I decided to go with just this buttonhole. It's to me the easiest one. I know how to do that one, and it does the job just like it does. So how you want to do it is you want to find the middle of your thing. If you have like a specific place, just like find a place that you think would look nice in the middle, and then you mark two different spaces that are about 4 to 5 centimeters from one another. And so as you can see, I already made one, and then 4 centimeters after that I made another marker with just a little normal thing. I forgot what those are called. I just marked this, so I can take that out now, and you just work until the stitch you want to start your buttonhole with, completely normal. And then once you have done that, you may want to put your yarn, which you have on the back, you want to put it in the front, and then you would just want to take the next stitch from the hook and just slip it off. And now we take our yarn from the front again back to the back, and this one stitch is now secured. What we're now going to do is we're going to cast off 4 stitches, which is basically just we slip one off again, take the first one, pull in like so, and just pull it through like so, and then we have yarned one off, and we're gonna keep on doing this. So we're gonna again slip it off and do it again and pull it through. So now we have 2 yarned off. Oops, don't put it in the front. Again, pull it off and cast the stitch off, and now we have 3. And I found that with 4 it's the best if you do 4. So we then again gonna do it a 4th time, and don't forget and pull it completely through, not like I did right now. So like this. So now we have this very large space of no stitches. So what you're gonna do now is you take this last stitch onto your left needle, just put it on there, and then we're gonna turn our work. So we're gonna turn it the other way around. What you want to do now is we want to take our yarn to the back. You have to put it to the back, and then there we have 2 stitches. The first 2 stitches, which are on our left needle now, we now are going to take our right needle and go in between those 2. So we're not going to go into any one of those 2, so we're just going to go in between, as you can see. We're just going to go in between and take ourselves one off, pull it loosely, and then we're going to hang it on our left needle, and then again go through the first 2, which you now have on, and do this the exact same time. Exact same thing. You want to do this 5 times since we cast off 4 stitches. So you always want to cast on 1 more stitch than what we casted off. So I now casted on 1, and the second one. And another thing is only pull it tight. So for example, I hang it on now, and I'm not going to pull it tight. I'm just going to let it hang, because then it will be a lot easier for you to insert the needle through. So, and then again, just pull it through. Now we have 3 casted on. This is gonna be our 4th. And the 5th. So that's gonna stay like this. And now we have casted on 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what we're gonna do is, once again, turn our work, and to secure everything, you want to, again, slip the first one, the first of the left needle on, slip the stitch. So you want to slip the stitch on here, and then we're gonna insert our needle into the first one on our right needle, or into the last one we cast it on, and pull it through. Make sure we pull through it completely, and that's how you do it. You now have your hole. You can just keep on working in your desired pattern, and nothing is really gonna change. But we now have 2 little buttonholes, which are important for later on we're gonna insert our strings. Once you have reached the 14 centimeters, just cast it off in a loose knit, not too loose but loose. And then, as you can see, you fold it in half, and maybe try it on to see if it really fits over your hips, because I was worried about that, but luckily it fits. And I just pinned it, and you can decide whether you want the holes to be on the inside or the outside. I decided to go with them on the inside because I don't want the thread to be seen, the band to accentuate my waist. So that's why I put it in here. As you can see, there are the holes, and that is all nice. And then for our band that is gonna go inside here to tighten it, I just chained a very long amount of chains. I chained a lot and lots of chains, and then just kind of like went on length and decided which length is the one I wanted to have. And then I just did some, wait a second, like this. I just did some half double crochets in it, and that's to me like the perfect size. And that to me is just a perfect size band, because it also obviously has to fit through the hole, and that one perfectly does, so you know. What we're gonna do now is before sewing this onto our actual pants, we have to make sure that this one is attached, because it will be a lot easier, then we don't have to thread it in or anything, because it still is open obviously. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna take that in half. So we're gonna put the ends together like this. We're gonna put the ends together and determine where the middle is. And once we found our middle, we want to go ahead and find a place where we want to sew it onto. So for example, I have this bit where there's like a lot more knits than purls. It just worked out this way. It is a bit weird, but never mind. And that's going to be my back. It's on the exact opposite of the holes, so make sure it's on the opposite of the holes. And what we were going to do now is we're going to open it up here, just here, and we're going to take our middle and put it exactly on the inner bit. So the side that is on the inside, we're going to sew it on the inner side. We want to lay our band on the middle bit, so it's nice and secure. And what we're going to do now is really, really easy. We're just going to take our yarn. We're just going to take our yarn and cut off like a bit, just a tiny little something, and then you're just going to take a normal needle, put your thread through, and we're just gonna sew it on here. You can do it any way you want. There's not like a particular way I'm gonna sew it on. Just make sure that it's nice and just make sure it's nice and secure, because then the band will not move to any direction. It will not get lost in the band, which is very important because we all hate it when our thread that accentuates something gets lost. I have just finished sewing it in. It is now nice and tight, and you will now just kind of want to run it through all the way to the hole, which we have here. So the first hole is here, and I'm just gonna go, so here's the hole, and I'm just gonna pull it through. So that one is nice and secure already. Just pull it through, make sure that it's in there. Maybe also open it on the side. So we're just gonna, you know, put it in. We're just gonna put it in, and yeah, it's in there now. So that one comes out, and now we'll just do the same thing on the other side. So just, and now we have on the inside, as you can see, our two, whoopsie, so now we just have our two strings on the inside, and it is perfectly done, and that is so cool. I am obsessed with this. So yeah, this is the waistband done. You will just have to sew it onto your shorts, and that is how you do the waistband. Once you have finished with knitting all your pieces, you are now going to sew together. So I'll just show you how to sew together one tiny bit, and then you can do the rest. So you just lay your starting piece, that doesn't really matter which one it is, on the bottom, and then you take the next piece that is left to it. So for example, these are my pants, and then it's the piece left to it, and we put it, wait a second, we put it on top of each other. So we're just gonna put it on top of each other. It doesn't really matter which way, but just make sure that they lay on top of each other. So then we're going to take the wool we've used for making our waistband, we are going to use for sewing it together. And now here comes the super hack. I did not know this, but I'm going to share it with you. Is one of the best hacks. So by choosing the length of your thread of which you're going to sew it together with, it is really hard to guess the length you will need, and I will show you the perfect hack on how to find the perfect length. So what I always do is I take my normal, my thread, my yarn, and I lay it next to it until I have one length, and then I just pull it. So now here we have the second length, then we need the third length and a fourth one, and that is about it. I always take like a few more centimeters off the end, so it's a bit more than 4 lengths, but always take 4 times of the length. Then you have enough thread. It's not too short, so you can still very well hide all the thread, and it's really easy to do. And also in the end, you don't have to worry about the thread or the yarn being too short, and it's just amazing. So we're just gonna put it onto our needle. Yeah, just normally put it onto a needle, and I recommend pulling it quite far because, you know, we have it in, so pull it quite far back because it's just a lot easier. And I'm just going to show you how you start. I don't know the exact name of this sewing together method or what this stitch is called. I'm going to put the name somewhere here, but I'm just going to show you. So how you're going to start is you take your two pieces, panels. So you're going to take your two panels, and you're just gonna, if this is our starting point, we just go in by a bit, push our thread through from the back towards us, pull it through, and then I always completely pull it through until there's only like a little tail left like this. And then what I do, I forgot what the proper way to do it was, but I do it like this and it always works, so why not? I'm just gonna, like, you know, I then always just make 2 tiny little knots so it's nice and secure and everything works out fine. So we've just knotted this together. Then I always go in again from the back on the exact same place, pull it to the front once more, and then you can also hold the tail to the back, and this is our working needle. And then you just go behind once more, exact same place again, but this time, wait a second, don't do it like me, but this time make sure that it kind of wraps around the edge. not like this. It sometimes can be a little tricky, as you can see, but most of the time it isn't. Just like wrap it around a bit like this. And now we come to the actual stitch, which is really confusing at first, but once you've gotten the hang of it, it is actually really easy to do, so just follow me. So what we're gonna do is, this is our starting point, and from our starting point we're gonna go a bit in. You can vary it, so just go in a bit. I always go about like 1 centimeter, and then we pull it from the back. We push the needle from the back through both works, both panels, and pull it completely through. And then you can leave that little end tail because we can just sew it away. Then we take our needle and go back through our starting hole from the front. We go back and pull it all the way through, pull it tight, and then if this was our point where we went through, we're gonna go another centimeter now and pull it through again, or push it through, it's not pulling. Push it through again till we've reached the thing. Then we take our needle and go from the back through the exact same place once more. Make sure, and then it loops around and sews it together. And then again we go over by 1. Pull it through from the back to the front. Go through the last stitch you've made, which is right here, or the last time you went straight across and not diagonally. It's not completely diagonal, but for that one we now went like this across, and for the other one we went straight. And for the one where you went straight across, you go from the front on the exact same place, push it to the back and pull it out. And that's basically how you do it. So you again go over from the one where we went diagonally, we go another 1 centimeter, or just the time or the place or the space you've decided on, push it through both works from the back, pull it out at the front, do the exact same step once more so it is secured and it goes across straight. Then we go over by 1, push it through from the back, make sure our yarn doesn't wrap around our work, pull it so it's diagonally, and then we just pull it through at the last one where we went straight. And that is basically how you do it. You just do it for the whole entire work, and that's it. Now you can see the pants or the shorts in combination with the cardigan. I think this is when the shorts like really do their magic, because I think on their own they are cute, but they kind of like round. I don't know if it's just me or my body shape. Pretty much it's me, I think, because the pants, the sweatpants, I took them off, or like I measured off. Also it's quite round, but I don't like hate it. But as I already said, the combination with the cardigan is just everything to me. I absolutely love it, like from the back, even though on the back of the cardigan has a different green. We don't mind that, and by we I mean I. So this is that, my shorts. And by the way, I also added some pockets by making a design of this shape. I'm gonna put it here, and the pockets I made by making or knitting a piece in this shape. You obviously have to always switch it around so it really makes sense for the pants. And then I just left a piece open when sewing the actual shorts together, and then I sewed this bit in. And I have pockets, which I think is really convenient, because having pockets is important. And yeah, I don't know, I really like it as a restyling combination. If you enjoyed the tutorial on how to make your own hairstyles-esque cardigan shorts, please give the video a big thumbs up. I would really enjoy it. Also, if you made your own, don't mind sending me a picture on Instagram. I would really love to know how you made it. My Instagram is emilysoph.ia, so Emily Sophia but with a dot. And yeah, I'm really happy with the outcome. They're really comfortable and I think they're just amazing to like chill in. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give the video a big thumbs up and please also consider subscribing. It would really mean the world to me. And if you have any more suggestions on how I can improve with giving tutorials, or if you want to see more of this, more videos of this kind, leave it down in the comments below and we'll see each other next time. Bye!